Let's do this makeup look while I'll tell you how I got ghosted by this famous TikToker slash YouTuber guy. Reference, I will try to recreate this makeup right here. This whole thing happened back in 2022, October, November. For the sake of privacy, I'm going to call this guy Dan because I don't want to say his real name. What you have to know about Dan is that he's really weird, I would say, but not in a bad way, in a good way. He's really funny and makes really interesting YouTube videos. Some might say that he's kind of crazy. And also, he's really cute. He has millions of followers right now, so I would say he's quite famous. But I was following him, not from the beginning, but before he blew up. He had around like a few 100,000 followers. I obviously had a crush on this guy for a while now, but it was nothing serious, just like how I have a crush on celebrities or something like that. I wanted to be friends with this guy for the longest time because he was like so funny and like his sense of humor was really similar to mine, I would say. I don't really find people like that online. He was literally the only YouTuber I was watching besides Kennedy Walsh. I don't really like to follow YouTubers. He was nice, like he was super fucking nice, always liked my posts. When I tagged him in my drawings, commented, he's like, oh my god, this is so cool, blah blah blah. I wanted to give him my drawing, right? One day he posted in his story, I think he was about to go to Thailand, so he posted this story. Does anyone know a videographer in Thailand or something like that? I was like, I swiped up and I said, come to Korea, because I live in Korea right now. And what is my cat doing up there? He likes to be literally at the highest point all the time. But yeah, that's besides the point. I just swiped up. I didn't even expect a reply. And he said, fine, bet. And he bought the ticket. I was so excited. I'm a model and I was modeling for Crocs that day. I didn't have internet yet because it was like my first month in Korea, so I didn't have a SIM card yet. So since I didn't have internet, I couldn't really text him back, right? I was just sitting inside the car where they took me to the shoot and I got some Wi-Fi and he said, I bought the tickets and I'm gonna be there October 25th, I think, or 26th. I don't know, it's like around that time. I was super excited about it. I started to prepare a gift for him right away. I drew him and also I bought a few gifts as well. I put a lot of effort into my drawing. So what you have to know about me is that I don't actually live in Seoul. I live in Incheon because I don't like living in Seoul. Too many people. It's just too much for me. So the day when Dan arrived to Seoul, I was actually there because I was getting a facial. So I texted him if he wants to go and have dinner. That was quite late at night. He arrived a few hours before that. And he said no because he's really tired and he just wants to rest. And I was like, okay, that's totally understandable. I mean, you had a long flight. So I just went home, right? I live like 2 hours away with the metro and bus, and quite far away from me. He asked me if I wanted to go to the DMZ with him, which is basically the border between South Korea and North Korea. I said, sure, let's go. Okay, then we're gonna meet then. That was on the 28th, I believe. So I think he arrived on the 26th and he didn't want to have dinner because he was tired. And on the 27th, we were supposed to meet. I told him we should go to Everland or something like that, which is kind of a theme park like Disneyland, I would say. He said no, and I said then we could just eat, and he said sure. Do you know any restaurants? And then I got my period. Now what you have to know about me is when I have my period, it's literally the worst fucking pain ever. I'm throwing up, I'm shitting my pants. I'm not kidding. I have explosive diarrhea whenever I have my period. I throw up, I shit. Period cramps in the first 2 to 3 days are literally killing me. And I'm not even exaggerating right now. It's literally horrible for me. So for me to get to Seoul, it would have took 2 hours, right? And I was like, I can't even stand up straight. And I don't think I can go to Seoul, right? Because it really hurts. And I'm literally going to the toilet every single second because period poop is just that bad. But yeah. And I told him, sorry, I really don't feel good. And then he was like, no worries, it's fine. We can just meet tomorrow. So he told me that the next day, I'm supposed to be there at 7 a.m. which I did not know about. I didn't know that it's that early. So it's like, okay, then I'm gonna take a taxi to get there at 7 a.m. And with taxi, it would take like 55 minutes. but taxi is really expensive, especially because I also have to cross a bridge to go from one place to another, and the bridge also has fees. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna take taxi. I'm not rich, but I'm gonna take taxi because I wanted to meet him. I'm so bad at doing my makeup and talking at the same time. This is literally my favorite setting powder ever. It's just perfect. I love it. It's, look at my pores and how it's gonna blur it all out. Oh, you see that? You see that? It's blurred. It's nothing. No more pores. Non-existent. It's just amazing. Oh, and I didn't mention that Dan wanted to have a Halloween party here in Korea, and he asked me to invite people to his party, but I don't know anyone here because I'm new here. So I did post in some groups like, hey, this is like a free party, you can just come, blah blah blah. And also I made flyers and I put them around, which is, by the way, not okay, but still. And I got a few people to attend the party, like 20-25 people around that. He wanted to make a video about this party, right? And so yeah, I did that. Let's just say that also didn't work out. So I finished off my gift for him and I went to sleep around 12 a.m. and I woke up at 3, I think. I didn't sleep much, that's a fact. I slept around 2 or 3 hours because it takes a lot of time for me to go there. So I also had to take another shower because, you know, I had my period. I just got ready. I took a bunch of pills. Like I took like 4 different types of pain relief, and I also put it in my bag a lot because I was just that anxious that I'm gonna have pain again. Anyway, I'm using this flower nose blush. It's super pretty. So I got into the taxi and I was supposed to get there by 7, right? And so the map told me that I would get there by 6:45 actually. I would be there like early. And the map also takes it into consideration when there's traffic, which is great. So I was like, okay, that's amazing. But it did not take into consideration that there's gonna be an accident on the highway. So the taxi was basically going 1 inch per second, which was not really great. And at that point I knew I will not be able to make it by 7. And I told him that, and he told me nothing. He unfollowed me. I was like, okay. And I didn't have much followers at that point, so I obviously realized when it just dropped 1, right? So I was like, can we just, you know, change it? Like, why is the hurry to go there so early? And he was like, oh, you can change it because these people are taking us there, blah blah blah, right? And I was like, okay. So I called those people and I asked them, can we do it at 8? Can we meet at 8? And they said yes, it's a private tour, so we are obviously going to accommodate to your time schedule. And I was like, that's interesting, because Dan told me that it's not up to him what time to go, right? I told him that I called them and we can make it 8, and he was like, okay, then come here by 8, and he followed me back. But the thing is, the taxi still couldn't go any faster, and I was like, well, I don't think I'm gonna make it by 8, because obviously there's like ambulance, there's like cops, people are dying. Yeah, I mean, somebody got into an accident, so it's not fun, right? So then he goes off on me. Well, then don't even come then. I've been standing here for an hour and a half in 6 degrees cold. I've been standing outside in like a tiny jacket, you know, a real thin jacket or something like that. And I was like, you came to Korea as a Canadian and you didn't bring a jacket? A thicker jacket? It just doesn't make sense to me. And also, you do not have to stand outside, because Korea has a Starbucks or a convenience store at every little corner of the street. You can literally just go in there and just stay there, but no. And I felt so fucking bad. I'm such a people pleaser until I realized that, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I shouldn't have done that, because why am I feeling sorry when it was literally not my fault? He was telling me that I should have counted that there's gonna be traffic and stuff like that, and I was like, I'm sorry, but this is not traffic. This is literally someone dying, someone being severely injured, because there's literally an accident. People are fighting for their lives, and you're telling me like, oh my god, I'm so cold, it's 6 degrees, when you have a bunch of cafes around you. And he lied to me about the tour thingy, right? Obviously, he unfollowed me again, and I was calling him, apologizing. I'm so sorry. I really didn't I didn't mean for this to happen. I literally made gifts for you. I'm not trying to set you up and flake on you. I'm not trying to do that. It's just literally, this was a situation that I could not possibly control. I left the house earlier than I was supposed to. I did everything I could, and yet it didn't work out, and that's literally not my fault. And obviously I'm thinking maybe he got mad because the day before that I also told him I can't go, but I'm telling you, at this point I'm sitting in the taxi basically crying because I went that far for no reason. I spent all that money for no reason, and going back would take me the same amount of money. Obviously I felt bad. I kept calling him and being like, I'm so sorry, because I'm literally I'm the biggest people's pleaser ever, and I'm always trying to accommodate to other people's needs, even though I might suffer from the consequences of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just really couldn't do anything. I just apologized. I sent a bunch of apology messages. I tried to call him a bunch of times. He never picked up. I'm gonna use this basic palette for the glitter. It's just interesting to me how he went from I'm so excited to meet you, I can't believe I'm finally gonna meet you, to just literally ghosting me and never talking to me ever again. Feels bad. I just watched him for so many years. I was always supporting him. I have ad block, but whenever I was watching his videos, I turned it off so he can get his money, right? And I also bought his merch. I drew him a bunch of times, and I just thought he was really nice. And I came out really unprofessional, I guess, because I couldn't make it in time, but that's really not my fault. I tried to make it in time. I really tried, and I was just so disappointed. I wish he knew that I actually didn't mean to stand him up, and I didn't want to cause any problems by calling those people. I just really wanted to meet him, and it's really not my fault that happened. I honestly want to know if you guys think that I'm the asshole in this situation, because I've been thinking that for the longest time. It's just so sad because he was one of the only comfort YouTubers that I kept watching. Every single video I watched it, podcasts I watched it. It's just really sad. After that, he just left Korea and went to Japan, and then he met with that other TikToker from Japan. I'm not gonna say names because then it's gonna be so easy to figure out. And after, I was still following him for a while, and I still sent him some apologies. Weeks later, no answer, no nothing, and I was like, I'm gonna unfollow him, but maybe still watch some of his videos. He was part of my life for a long time, since I was in high school. He was never physically in my life, but he was there. I was watching. He was putting a smile on my face with his videos, but it's not easy. I was still watching his videos for a while, and I watched one of his podcasts. He said that he had a shitty time in Korea. I was like, oh. And after that, I just unfollowed him from everywhere. And to this day, I still wish that I could talk to him and let him know that I really didn't intend for things to go this way. I wouldn't say that he's an asshole for that, but I just don't think it was nice, and it was kind of disappointing that he just ghosted me. I think that's always rude to just ghost someone without any explanation. Especially, I'm just really a people pleaser, and I'm just really sensitive about things like this. If you ghost me, just don't ghost me. I want to talk things through always. I just don't like ghosting. I really wish we could have been friends. He's been such a big part of my life, his videos at least, since high school. But it's just, I can't watch his videos the same after that, which is disappointing. Sadly, watching his videos now is just not the same. Also, why are my lower lashes basically the same length as my upper lashes? Like, that doesn't really make sense, right? This is literally my favorite. I'm almost out of it, but the color is just so pretty. Also smells so good. This is the finished look. Don't mind my mustache, I still need to shave that, but the makeup turned out pretty cute if I say so myself. Also, I'm thinking about cutting my hair because it's just too long and damaged from all the photo shoots. Let me know what you think. I was thinking about cutting it this short, which is crazy because I haven't had that short hair in a long time. So I'm so bored of brown hair color, but as a model I can have colorful hair, which is sad. But that was my story, and then if you see this, I'm sorry. I really didn't intend for that to happen. I'm sorry that I couldn't control when accidents happen. I'm sorry I couldn't teleport there. It's unfortunate, that's all I can say. Also, let me know if you want more chatting videos. I have a lot of stories that I can talk about, but I'm sure you can see from this video that I'm not really good with words. Let me know if you want more story times.